Okay, so before I actually truly review this game, I got the PC version of this game on Steam, right? And while I was enjoying everything that I had with it, I had to immediately uninstall the game because apparently this game has like a Chinese malware. Sorry about that. This game has like a Chinese malware on it or something like that, where even if you uninstall the game, the malware or the spyware itself still is attached on your computer. So I'm not gonna lie, this is the first time I've actually had to say that about a game in general. Uh, I'm not gonna say that's why I don't like the game. I'll tell you why later. But before you install this game, if you're playing on Steam, check the downvotes, and you'll see why this game is getting a little bit of the flack that it has. But regardless of which, what the heck is going on, gamers out there? My name is Chaos the Gamer, and yeah, I just wanted to talk about Blood Hunt Masquerade. Sorry, Vampire Masquerade Blood Hunt. Should say it right, right? I wanted to do a small video about this because I like this game, and compared to other videos that I've done in the past about other games that have very good concepts but may not be executed very well, I'm not going to do that with this game. Instead, I'm going to try to do things a little bit different, right? So, with this game, uh, it's exactly like you thought it would be inside the trailer. A lot of people who actually like the genre for what this game came from, you would wonder why would you make another battle royale in the fist pool of battle royales that are out there, right? And I can kind of understand that a lot of people don't necessarily like that, and I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of the reason why I personally don't like the game. But I'm not saying that just to actually razz on the game. There are things about this game that I actually do really, really like. It's just that unfortunately, because of the fact that it's another battle royale, and I'll get to that. I'll get to that in a second. It comes off as just a little bit boring sometime or bland sometime. Granted, it does have a lot of new things inside of it in terms of what you can do when you're playing mid-game. So, gameplay-wise, I would say it's just the same as any other traditional battle royale that you've played or any other shooter that you played. Just about, for the most part, if you've ever played a looter shooter, the controls are gonna basically feel about the same. However, in terms of controls, I know the game's still early access. PC version does not have a good pad support, so you're gonna have to actually play mouse and keyboard on PC, in my opinion. In my opinion, the game's pad support for being able to hook up a controller and play is not nearly as good as how you should be playing on PC. Honestly, I want to say it's kind of like the Fortnite controversy, whether console or PC would be better for your aim. For most cases, I would say that PC would probably be way better for your aim, because I actually did try it. Now, what's really surprising about this game is that it's actually very, very fluid. The frame rate was a little jittery for me at first, but I think I had to do some things to my graphics card to make it feel a little better. But the frame rate in this game is overall not bad, and that's the one thing that I thought was going to be very, very bad. So when you're wall climbing and you're jumping across and you're using special abilities and stuff like that, when there's a lot of stuff going on in the game, you can actually see everything frame by frame by frame by frame. And that to me is very, very good, because no one wants a game to be, even if it's early access, you don't want a game to be very, very jittery in its first concept, because that's just gonna lead to a lot of bad opinions about it, no matter what, even if you're a fan of the genre or not. So, like I said before, aiming in this game it's there, but let's be real. Maybe I just suck. Let's just be real. Maybe I just suck. I'm not a mouse and keyboard player. The aiming in this game is there. It's just that even sometimes when someone was like dead set in front of me, I would kind of miss some really, really easy shots. And I kind of noticed that, I don't know if just other people are just gods at playing PC games, but like everyone in this game's aim is way better than mine, and that's totally fine in my opinion. What I'm trying to get used to is just actually learning how to actually play the game and actually how to survive inside the game itself. So, in terms of actually playing the game and actually traversing the area, the level design in this game is fucking great. Like, fucking great. Like, I don't know how to there's nothing else I can say about the level design. If you think that the level design is a little bit clunky, maybe there's too many things in the street or anything like that, for the level of detail that this game has, put it to you like this: there are a lot of games that can only do so much with the space that they have as far as the level of detail that they can give. The map size, I'd say, for this game is fair. I think it's kind of small-ish compared to like maybe Warzone or Fortnite or something like that. But understandably, the map in this game is fucking beautiful. Like the tone of the everything, just everything in general. This is a real, I wouldn't say it's a real place, but in terms of where these characters live as NPCs or just the players themselves, this seems like a real place for NPCs to live. Like the way the lighting is set, the way it constantly rains. I will say the reflection of the rain on the character's skin doesn't look too well for me at all, but I'll get to that later. But in terms of the level design to me is really, really good. And one thing I hate about games that introduce the ability to traverse and be able to shoot is bad level design. There's one thing I hate in a game is just bad level design. Not in terms of how much detail is on the foliage or on a tree or something like that, or on the sidewalk of the curb. I mean in terms of lanes and your ability to traverse everywhere and where can you go. Like if you're getting shot at, you should have the option to, you know, turn a corner or hide behind a crate or something like that, you know? But if you have just single lanes where it's just open space and you can just get lit up pretty easy, it's just kind of like Halo in a way. It's just a bit of a thing about that with me. But regardless of which, yeah, level design in here is completely great. Graphics. Overall, I'd say, here's the thing about me, man. I've been playing games for since the first PlayStation 1. When it comes to graphics, depending on what it is, graphics in a multiplayer game do not matter to me. Like, they do to an extent, but they do not matter to me. Graphics in a game where I'm going up against another actual person doesn't really faze me. So for every game that I've played to just, over the past 2 years, not have the most impressive facial features or facial structures or detail on someone's skin or face, or definitely the hair, you know, I'm not really too much worried about this game's graphics. Like I said before, for me on my PC, the tone of the rain, the way the rain looks on their skin looks really weird. Like, I'd say the characters in here, they don't have to look the best or amazing. They don't have to look like they just came off of a PS5 and that you're playing like God of War classics or something like that, right? But like in terms of graphics, not the best graphics in the world, but in terms of a shooting game, who the fuck cares about like good graphics in a shooting game, you know? So that's just one thing about me. If you ever hear me try to review a game in any way, graphics are not a big deal depending on what the game is. I'd say the only game I actually don't let that type of shit slide is probably going to be Halo Infinite coming up, because it's Halo and it's always had good graphics, so there's just that. Regardless of which, the difficulty in this game is a fairly easy learning curve, right? Similar to any Battle Royale that you've played, and I'm pretty sure you've played some Battle Royales. The learning curve in this game is fairly simple. The tutorial that they give you is also very simple as well. The ability that you can actually climb walls and that you can't necessarily get the gun that you want all the time, but you should kind of get used to different guns. And more than likely, if let's say you're getting frustrated with this game, I would say the best thing for you to do with this game, if you're getting very frustrated in your first couple of playthroughs, would be to, spawn in the exact same spot that you spawned at, depending on where it is. Me, I like to go to, I think it's District Disco or something like that. I forget what it's called. But I usually like to spawn over there because I know the map layout a little bit better. And I've also seen players also traverse over that map as well. Another thing I would say is, if someone kills you, just spectate the gameplay. But yeah, like, if someone kills you, or if you just so happen to accidentally kill yourself like I just did, then you should also just spectate their gameplay, because that is like the best way for you to get a good idea of what you're supposed to do in this game. Now, granted, like I said before, there's nothing too different that you're doing in this game that's different from other battle royales, and that's where my final conclusion of the game actually does come in. So after watching someone play multiple times, because like I said, if I die, I'll just spectate. It's not the end of the world. And plus, let's be real, when you die, you really don't want to go back to the lobby because it takes some time. Dying, going to the lobby, getting in a game, lasting 3 minutes, dying, going to the lobby, it gets on your nerves. So you should watch someone else and see what they do. But through that, as I wrap this up, this game has a lot of good stuff in it. And that's the thing about every different Battle Royale. It's going to have something different in it. But overall, even when I was seeing someone who was like really, really good at the game play this, from watching them, I just got bored. Like, don't get me wrong, honestly, it's because I'm watching them, obviously, but in terms of like, what is this person doing? It's practically the same thing that happens in other Battle Royales. You know, the wall's closing in, so you either can stick to the middle of everything and kind of like track where everyone else is going to go to the next circle, or as the circle's closing in, you kind of ride the circle as it's closing, and you get other people who are kind of like, you know, making their way to this to the other circle location as well. You know, it's a lot of waiting patiently, creeping on someone, and just standing still, observing the area, and a lot of that in between when it comes to like, how can I say this? High level gameplay can sometimes be very, very boring because you see the same stuff happen over and over and over again. So even when I was watching someone do like some very good gameplay or whatever, I still wasn't hyped, or I just wasn't enticed to like really, really go back in there and play it again. Because like I've said, I've seen other Battle Royale games, and hey, even like games that I don't play like Apex Legends or whatever, when it comes to like certain shots that people do, in other games I can identify like, yo, that was a crazy shot, or he just did a fucking jumped in the air and just shot a rocket across the map and did some crazy stuff, or he just did a 1v3 and completely owned all these guys, you know? I don't really get that sense of hype coming from this game. And maybe just not yet, because, you know, it still does have to get a few things worked out on it, obviously, since it's still in early access. With that being said, I'm curious to see how this game is going to play on PlayStation, because similar to Spellbreak, that's kind of why I couldn't play Spellbreak. I couldn't play a game with that much movement on a controller, you know? It just felt kind of weird. It just felt like I needed to transition to PC in the first place. But regardless of which, honestly, I was just saying to myself, after a while or a couple of plays, I see myself getting kind of bored with it, even if I'm playing with friends. And that's just me. But that doesn't mean that the game is necessarily bad. And the reason why I want to make this video again is because, you know, we just got to come to the grasp that there are going to be a lot of games that have very good ideas, but to execute those ideas, it's going to take a lot more than just money. It's going to take some time, dude. Like, for every game that has like a very good concept, it can be executed, but it's going to take time more than just money. You know, like, don't get me wrong, money will make it go a lot faster through time, but like, you know, that's just me. Regardless of which, hope I didn't upset anybody. Like I said, the game is actually still good. But for me right now, compared to any other shooter that I've been playing over the past 3 years, it just seems like the gameplay to me would just get boring after a while. You know? And granted, like I said, there's a very good thing here. The level design is very crazy. And yeah, to be honest, I'm very curious to see what they're going to do to very much update this game to give it more hype. Because that's the only thing that the game just doesn't have for me so far. Regardless of which, as always, my name is Chaos the Gamer, and yeah, GG's.